All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Concord Rundown podcast. Today, special day for us at the podcast. Today, we are joined by our AV Club president, Tyler Gregory.
How's it going?
Tyler, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate your time.
Of course, glad to be here.
All right, Tyler. So it's been a week since the Every 15 Minutes project.
Yeah, exactly a week.
How do you feel?
Man, I'm so glad it's over with. I mean, for like 2 months, we've been like talking and working about that, all that stuff, and I'm so glad it's over now.
That was one of these projects that we thought graduation was intense. You and I, we go back a long way. We did graduation by ourselves, and we thought that was an extensive project. We said, our exact words were, man, this was the toughest production we ever had.
Yeah, I mean, like the people that said they were going to help us out, they just bailed out on us. And
even
though we had like a ton of people this time, it was more.
It was just you and I. It was just you and I, my friend. But now this time we had a large crew for the Every 15 Minutes program, and it kind of seems like you and I just still took a big load of that workload.
Felt
right?
worse than graduation, honestly.
Yeah. But now that it's in our rearview mirror, now I wanted to sit and talk with you and decompress and just talk about everything that went right, everything that went wrong. How do you feel, and what are your thoughts on this? So, just to start off, introduce yourself to to our audience. Tell us who you are, what grade you were in, and anything else about you.
All right, well, to start off, obviously, my name is Tyler Gregory. Nice to meet all of you. I am a senior here at Los Altos High School. I've been around since, obviously, my freshman year, and I joined video production back in my freshman year. And funny enough, I wasn't thinking that was going to be a class that I was going to take throughout the 3 years, and now I'm TA for his class for my 4th year, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you successfully completed our course, and I've been fortunate enough to watch you grow and kind of develop into who you are now. Oh, yeah. And we're going to talk about where you're at and where you stand right now. But yeah, man, you really showed us what happens when you have a kid that didn't have much of a drive, was willing to help out, was looking for the right club to join, and you found us and we found you. And then when you were ready, you took it over, right?
Oh yeah, we went from my junior year and then on halfway through, and now I'm doing my own productions.
So, and we're going to talk about that. So Tyler's also our AV Club president. So he not only completed his pathway with us, but he's also the AV Club president. He started the club, led the club, and talk to me. What was that experience like?
So at first, back last year, 2021, when we came back from quarantine and all that, obviously I was in video production 3 at the time, but then we were talking about like making a club for video production, and I decided to attend a meeting to start it up. And since like when it comes to video stuff, there's always the idea of AV, audio, video, whether it's like sheets and, information about visual stuff. I decided to, change it around, go from audio to visual, so that we could talk about how we visually see, what we make here at the school, whether it's like productions and all that stuff.
And you're not only a video production student, you're also in digital graphics.
Yeah.
You spent 3 years there or 2 years?
2 years. Now I'm in animation right now.
Now you're in animation.
Graphics. So.
Wow.
And I'm also in engineering.
Man, you're a CTE child, man. You're our career technical education student. And anyways, so let's get right into the Every 15 Minutes project. What was the planning like for you when I introduced this to you? What was going through your head?
Well, obviously, I've actually never heard about this prior at all. So when you introduced me to this, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So it's probably just gonna be like an average production we've done. It's just on a Friday, goes for 3 hours. But then you kept reminding me every week, we had those meetings with Officer Barbara and Ms. Crowther and all them. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is some serious things right here. And then I was like, this is a big deal. So, as you're planning all this stuff throughout the weeks, I was thinking what if I mess this up? You know, I'm like thinking about like, how's this going to go down? Is it going to be like anything I've ever done before? And I'm not going to lie, it's nothing I've ever done before in my life.
Yeah, because this had a bit of video production, pre-planning, and then it had live stage drama, one take, no rehearsals, just right into it. And then we had to edit it in 12 hours, which was the stressful part.
I can't imagine that. That's honestly why I remember you asked me if I wanted to be editor, and I was like, I think I'm gonna have to pass on this one, man.
Yeah, and you know what? That's good because I always want you to just jump into every opportunity, but I want you to be cognizant of, if this is beyond my expertise, I'd rather be a good supporting crew member than just be the lead and then have everything, fall apart on my name, So that's good for you, man. I applaud you for that. All right, Tyler. So just so the audience knows, the every 15-minute program is supposed to be kept under a secret. I had all my students sign a non-disclosure agreement stating that you cannot talk about this event to anyone. You cannot publicize it, no social media. And thanks, you did your part. And you were the only one. You're the only student that I took with me to these pre-production meetings. So you sat in with CHP officers, school police, our principal, our avid teachers, and you got a chance to see the planning of this. What was that experience like for you?
It was, something else. I don't think I ever been like in a small room with like our principal, Mr. Hess and all of them. And like to know I was the only student there listening to like these conversations that you guys would probably never want to have a student with. Yeah. And honestly, I think it kind of felt like an honor to be there and, to like get all this information before everyone else did.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason I did it is because you have a good sense of communication with our volunteers, our club members, our production students. And a lot of the times I get ahead of myself and I talk too fast and I'm always going at 100 miles an hour.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah. And then you always know how to kind of like reiterate or communicate some stuff better than I can, because like you said, I've got a lot of things going on. So that's why when I took you in there with me, it was with the intention that you could relate that to our students in a way that I can't. As the AV club president, I don't know if you feel it. I know you feel it. A lot of students look up to you. A lot of students. If you don't know that, you need a better eye prescription. Tyler not only successfully completed my program, the course, but he has directed productions all on his own. He has produced productions all on his own. He has been our community center liaison. He took an internship with them, and within a matter of days, he got hired by the Hacienda Heights Community Center. So he has laid the groundwork for a lot of our AV club members of what is possible if you commit yourself to video production course. And that's what I say, like, they look up to you. If you don't see that, you got to be honest with yourself, man.
Oh, I hope they do.
Yeah. And I'm proud of everything you do, man. I really am. But where I was going with this is, you took the lead in, so I want to back up. So when I broke down the productions, I broke it down in the introduction. I broke it down to the hallway classroom visits, the drunk driver, and the court scene. And then what you chose was the ambulance. Why did you choose the ambulance story?
Because it definitely felt like something more engaging that I've never done. Like when it comes to all the other scenes, like the hallway scene, I filmed countless things in a school hallway, like throughout the past 4 years. And personally, I've never been in an ambulance. Okay. And I was like, it'd be cool to be in a whole new environment, doing something I'd never done before for something that's really important. And most people, they may be like, oh, I'm not experienced with that, so it's not my league, I shouldn't be doing that. But like, I wanted to try a lot of new things. I'd never heard of this event, so it's already new to me. Might as well look into other things. So,
and that was the point. I keep saying I handpicked every single person in that crew. I didn't just let anybody in. It was our AV club members. It was video production 2 and 3, and having you just know what you wanted to do and know what you didn't want to do was a big step. A lot of students here didn't have that sense. They didn't know where they wanted to be placed. They just knew they wanted to help, and you went about the ambulance, right? And it's coming up right now. I have it playing in the background, and I wanted to get your comments on it. But you taking that lead for the ambulance story was exactly what I needed. I needed somebody to try to get emotion, because that was our big discussion, right? How do we get non-actors to become actors? And this is why I have this playing in the background, so we could see the great work you did with not only the student, but the parent, the paramedics. You had a chance to tell adults what you wanted out of them. What was that process like?
I mean, honestly, it felt kind of strange because, for, almost all my life, I'm usually the one that like takes the orders, people tell me to do this. But, it was nice to, finally take control for once so that I know what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
And, it met my expectations perfectly. So it was nice to, communicate with these people and be like, hey, try giving me, some of this emotion, and they perfectly executed it. I'm glad that they, tried their best.
When I was reviewing your footage, I kept I kept trying to listen to the audio, like when you tell them something, but it seems like you would hit record after you gave them instructions, right?
I talked to them prior.
Okay.
Like the actors, on the actual crash site, ahead of time, like 10 minutes before we started, I went to talk to them, and I was explaining to them like what I'm gonna do and what I'm gonna need from them.
Okay.
And I got everything I needed. So
yeah. And here it comes. So this is the part where no, they're still gonna cut they're still gonna transfer the body. Okay. Yeah, this took its time progressing. But anyways, back to this. So talk to me what it was like when you were done with the filming, you were back in class, and you were just trying to decompress. What was that?
Well, right when I finished, the ambulance parked at the community center, we get out, I'm just like, whew, like I'm sweating, and we had Sergio and Dante there. I didn't even know that they were going to be there. I thought they were honestly still at the school. And, they were. I was
Sergio and Dante. Interrupt real quick. There are two members of our drone team, so they were in charge of every time there was a dead body or somebody lost their life. They were in charge of the spirit shot. We called it the spirit shot. So Tyler was in the ambulance, and that person was going to be pronounced dead on arrival. So Dante and Sergio were waiting for that spirit shot to tie everything in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, we were just talking, catching up with like what was going on for them, how everything went for them, how everything went for me. Then we left back in the ambulance. Took us like 10 minutes to get back. That guy, that driver, he was taking forever. But anyway, when we got back to the school, me, Sergio, and Dante were like, oh, let's go, let's give him that rest of the footage and let's get going. We walked back in the classroom. I'm like, whew, that's the first thing I feel when I walk in. I'm like, what's up? And then you're all like, Ozzy didn't give me the footage. He didn't record. And I was like, oh, no.
That's what I was going to ask you. What was the tension like in here, man?
The tension?
Yeah.
Ooh, it was very strict. I didn't want to, like, ask you anything else where you just, you just blow up, go off on me, even though I didn't do anything wrong. I was pretty nervous. I'm pretty sure everyone else was. I mean, you went off on everyone, to be fair. But, like, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I mean, it would, if he didn't record anything at all, like say if he didn't record the court scene, the jail scene, that would have been over. But thank God,
Yeah, everything, and we shared that story. If you listen to our previous podcast with Ozzy, he admit what he did wrong, and luckily everything was recorded. But yeah, Tyler walked in and he sensed it right away. He saw it in my face. He heard it from the grapevine, and then he was walking on eggshells. And Tyler has been my student for 4 years. He's my TA now, and he's also my right hand guy. Anytime you see me around campus, you see Ty, and anytime Tyler is working and I'm not there, he's working for me. So we're kind of known as a duo around campus. So he knows how to read my energy. He knows when something's wrong just by looking at me, and we have a lot of good nonverbal communication. I'll just give him the look. Hey, Tyler, you need to do this. And he'll do it. And then 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 he'll do it and I'll look a certain way, and Tyler knows exactly what I need, and he knows exactly who he needs to help, so that I don't blow up on that student. So thank you. You a lot of that happened that day, that nonverbal communication that we have. You know, it worked out. Okay, so right now I've got it queued up. Let's talk about this shot right here, man.
Yeah, so I mean, because originally in the ambulance, I was going to be like right there where the mother was, you know, because I wanted to get a lot of point of view shots. And out of nowhere, I thought it was only going to be like 3 of us, the girl being on the
gurney,
the one paramedic and me. But nah, there were like 5 or 6 of us in there. So I go in and I get like kind of shoved to the back. And if you play it right now.
Yeah. So just for our listeners, if you're watching the every 15-minute video and you're tuned up, we're at the 11-minute and 38-second mark. 11-minute, 38-second. This is the ambulance scene that Tyler shot himself. And here we go.
Yeah. So in the scene, I kind of got pushed to the end. And so at that moment, I was like, well, I might as well capture like the ambulance getting ready to leave, you know, to look at the aftermath of what happened.
I love this shot,
before,
dude.
You know,
I love this shot.
Yeah, so I quickly like improvised at that. And honestly,
it ties right in. They just closed the door. I wish we had a better shot to transition where the doors closed, and then
I wanted to go through the back with
Yeah.
the girl, but they closed it like immediately.
Yeah, they did.
So I had to go in the end. But I was hoping to also get a shot where the doors closed.
I love this.
But
I love it.
sadly couldn't get that. But honestly, it paid off.
All right, let's go.
Well, yeah. So I wanted to get like, you know, that chaotic idea of like, you know, clearly someone's dying right now. You know, they're trying their best to help her. Sadly, at the end, if you watch, doesn't happen. But I wanted to get a lot of point of view shots.
I like this right here.
There's a lot of times where when I was trying to put the camera over their head, you know, we're going over like a bunch of speed bumps, and I would almost like fall on a paramedic. One of the guys,
and paramedics don't drive cautiously. They're supposed to get from point A to point B.
Oh, they go
quickly.
Yeah.
Dude, this
the mother,
so real, dude.
Mother, she did what she can. She wasn't a bad person at all. She got, you know, the emotion I honestly needed.
Okay. Yeah, I love the chaotic look, the handheld look. They're right now they're giving CPR. Her heart stopped. She's not responding. The mom is just losing it right now. And this is what I needed, man. This is what I was telling you about. These are the moments that during the assembly, and we'll talk about the assembly, they felt it. It became real. All of a sudden, this was not a drama. This was not a project. This was not fake. It became real at this moment right here. And then this is the moment where, what happens right here, Ty?
So right here, this is where everything happens. You know, I go out of the ambulance, record my last few scenes, and eventually the girl dies.
Yeah.
So then we get that drone shot, you know, her spirit leaving away. End of that scene.
Yeah, man, this is money, dude. I am so glad I put you here. You did everything I needed. You're a leader during campus events. You're a leader during some of these other productions where I'm not there, and then I put you in the right place, man. Even though you weren't a leader for this production, you did great camera.
I'm glad
work,
I got
man.
to do what I got to do.
Right, dude. Right. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the assembly. What was it like the day of the assembly when you see our film on screen? Because I was nervous.
Well, when it first started, you know, I'm like thinking like, should I leave a little bit earlier than all the other students are? So I go to my third period, and my third period teacher, he's like, oh, well, yeah, you go like right now. Like he said it to everyone. So I'm going. And when I first walk into the gym where we watch the, you know, where the assembly happens, I saw all those seats down there, and I was like, should I go there? No, that's probably meant for like only like families and all that.
I didn't know.
Like I had no idea. Like I saw you standing there with the shirt, and I was like, oh well, maybe I should go up to him. Like nah, you know, I'll leave it as is. But then eventually, as I'm like sitting down just on the bleachers, Mr. Hesse comes by. He's like, hey, no, you can sit like down there in the seats. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And in my head, I was like, hey, let's go. This is like some royalty type of stuff.
And that was great, right?
Yeah.
I loved it. I didn't expect it myself. I told everybody, go sit in the bleachers. I didn't know that those were reserved for us.
Yeah, I didn't know either. And I quickly like looked at the pamphlet, and I saw, you know, those video production. I'm glad we got to see that. I'm glad we got the recognition.
I know.
It was nice to have it. I mean, honestly, when they announced the recognition, I mean, a lot of people cheered for us.
They did.
A lot of people cheered for us, more than like most of the things that they announced.
Yeah.
But right as they started the video, honestly, I gotta say, I love the intro of the video.
Yeah.
It gets really, you know, like into it like really quickly.
It grabbed
Very
people's
dramatic,
attention.
very dramatic.
That's what I was
and,
hoping.
Very attention seeking. But as the video is playing out, I'm like leaning on my chair, and I'm like, I'm just silent. I'm like covering my mouth because I'm like trying not to laugh because I'm just thinking like this is gonna be, because I've never seen this. Obviously, you're the only one that saw this prior.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and honestly, very good. Like, it's way better than most I've watched.
Yeah.
Earlier that day, me and a couple of my friends, we reviewed some of the other ones from whether it was our school or other schools in the district or the state. And honestly, I'm glad like it paid off.
Yeah.
The only scene, obviously,
you want to talk about that?
The court scene.
Okay. All right. So we're going to take a couple of weeks. We're going to go a couple of weeks back. 2 weeks before the actual event, Tyler and 17 students and some of my production students, we went to the Downey Courthouse to film the jail scene.
All the way in Bellflower.
Yeah, tell them what happened.
Yeah, we were gonna film a court scene. Supposedly it was all planned out where we'd be in like a courtroom. We got the judge. Film the girl being sentenced to 30 years. And our original plan was to have the Walking Dead students be in the back as like stage audience for like, the lives that were taken and all that. But sadly enough, turns out that there was some miscommunication and they didn't know not only that we were coming, but that we were also filming. And for those that you don't know, you do really need approval to go film in a courtroom. So
Yeah. And that was one of those moments where Mr. Garcia just needed to be left alone.
Oh yeah.
Did not want to be talked to. I shut myself off. Everyone kept asking me, what's happening? And I just wanted to be left alone.
Oh yeah.
And that was that moment where you always do the right thing. You always just walk away from me. You don't take anything personal. And if I blow up, which I do, I'm just.
I already know, it's just that one temporary thing. Eventually you'll get over it, but I don't blame you. I get what's happening.
And can you imagine, listeners, just having 20 high school students? It's pouring rain outside.
Oh yeah.
We had to go through metal detectors. They had to ask us, why are you carrying this? What are you doing with that? What is this for?
They brought all the camera equipment.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So finally they'd say, you know what? We don't have a courtroom, but we have a conference room. Okay. So we go check out the conference room. And I just take a deep breath and I tell my crew, Tyler, Ozzy, Sarah, and Serena, all right, guys, this isn't what we wanted. Let's just get going. Let's get started. And then we get interrupted and they tell us what?
Oh, the bus is about to leave. Yeah.
They said, you guys have 15 minutes. The bus is about to leave. And that's when I almost lost my stuff.
Like we were just about to record. We get like the table set it up in the position of like a little courtroom. And then second, Miss Crowther comes in. She's like, the bus is about to leave in 15 minutes. And we're like, we ain't got that time.
Yeah. And so when you get a chance to see the court scene, and I'm skipping forward to it right now, I agree with you, man. One of the first things you told me was, you know what, Mr. Garcia, the court scene didn't turn out that bad. And I got a lot of feedback, like the same feedback by a lot of people. It's not what we wanted. It definitely looks like a conference room, not like a courtroom. But for people that don't know what's happening, it's passable. Yeah, it irks me just watching it. I can't watch it either.
Yeah, we're looking at a specific spot right now. Yeah. It's just hard to look at. But I mean, we got what we can. People, obviously, it's to get the point across, get the memo. Obviously, this girl did something and she has to pay a price. And then the judge, he wasn't even the judge, he was a lawyer.
Oh my goodness.
He had his phone with him the whole time, and he was like, he mentioned like right after he like said, I'm gonna go with the people and all that. He said like, oh, I wish you the best of luck, as he sentences the girl 30 years.
Oh my God. So Tyler and I, we always have these conversations about like, what could we have done better? Where did we go wrong, and how do we improve it? What do you think, Tyler? How can this video have been improved in your eyes as a student?
Well, obviously, like, this is the best we got. We can't just like predict that they didn't know we were coming, because obviously we're getting our info from other people, so we just assume that everything's going to go as planned.
Third party.
The only thing that I say we could have done is just in case brought an extra, like maybe a shotgun microphone, because the one of the
That
lawyers,
audio,
her audio, only one of them, thank God. If it was all of them, that would have been so much more terrible. But could have maybe brought more shotgun mics or something like that, more lavaliers, to get their mics set up.
I agree.
If you look at the court scenes in the wide shot, there's 2 chairs that are just right at the very frame of the.
We were so stressed for time. We did not see those chairs until we were editing them.
And as we were editing them, we were trying to maybe reframe it slightly, but it would cut them off. So we just had to leave it as is.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. All right. So, what did you learn about yourself in the filming of this project?
I could definitely do things. I could do more than what I thought I can, even if I'm especially under a lot of pressure.
Which you were.
Obviously, I wasn't as much pressure as you were, but I definitely was under a lot more than I probably ever been. And I'm glad that I know that I'm able to overcome all that stress that I've gone through. And as you know, I get very stressed out with a lot of things. It's a huge problem for me, but I had no issues. Whether it was getting sick or any of that, I made sure I did not miss a single day throughout. Well, no, I did miss a day. I did miss one day, but I made sure for the most important days, whether it was attending, an after school meeting so that we could review audio and all that. I made sure I was there, for our club, for the students, so that we could teach them, show them what's gonna happen. But on my end, I realized that I could do a lot more than what I normally can.
And I'm a big believer in Mr. Tyler. Tyler, and I'm just going to share real briefly. His sophomore year, he didn't do so great.
Oh yeah.
His grades dropped badly. I mean, really, they went from
horrendous.
He went from a B student.
Half of my classes.
Yeah, he went from being a B student his freshman year to just no effort, no drive, just gave up and was okay giving up. And it just so happens that his counselor, Debilis, and shout out to his counselor, man.
He saved me, dude.
Yeah, he called me up one day and he's like, "Hey, what do you know about Tyler?" I said, "He's a good kid. What's up?" He's like, "Man, we need to help him." He reached out. He set up a meeting. He gave me the talk, and he said, "Mr. Garcia, you're the only class he respects and he likes, and he sees a future in it. Can you say something?" I'm like, what am I supposed to say, man? I'm barely making it. And sure enough, we had that talk, and Tyler promised me, "Mr. Garcia, if you give me a second chance, I'm going to be the best AV club member, AV club president, AV student, and just give me a chance." And that's exactly what we did, man. We gave this kid another opportunity, and he has not proved us wrong. You've been a real asset to this production, to this academy, man. Thank you so much for everything you do. And real quick before we leave, what's in store for the future for Mr. Tyler Gregory?
Well, if you didn't know already, as of right now, I'm going to be starting to direct and produce my own short film, all on my own. Obviously support from some people, but I wrote the script, I'm producing, I'm directing it. And as of next Thursday, the 23rd, I am starting day 1 for filming.
All right.
And I'm pretty nervous, but I'm also really excited at the same time.
The good thing is you have something to draw from, right? You just went through an
excruciating event,
an elaborate production, and I think you drew a lot from that. I think you learned so much. I kept seeing you make mental notes of what you were learning as we were going, and you kept getting ideas as this production, was moving along. So you're gonna be fine, dude. And trust me, you dealt with a lot of adults, professionals, officers, teachers, principals. Everything goes wrong.
Oh yeah,
everything goes wrong.
I'm pretty sure I definitely learned that after.
So all the planning in the world, things still go wrong. And the good thing is I had you there beside me. You heard me vent. You heard every single thing that went wrong. I was vocal with you so that you could learn from. And now you understand. Don't take it so hard. Don't put that on yourself. Things happen, my guy. Things happen. Okay, besides the movie, what else you got, or the film, what else do you have going for yourself?
Well, obviously recently, about in February, I started working at the community center, and That's been a job that we've been looking at for like a year now.
Yeah.
Like ever since my junior year last year, we started filming events at the community center.
Yep.
You know, Garcia, he helped connect me with these guys. And eventually, after I was able to get all my information in, I finally got the job. And after I finish my senior year, like throughout the summer, before I go to college, I'm definitely going to be working full time there.
All right.
So, you know, I can get what I, have, make the money I can make.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
I'm really waiting for that stuff.
Good. Okay. So, Tyler, where can people find out more about you?
So you can find me on a lot of things. There's my Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. I have my one for my productions. It is TDG Productions. And there's my personal account, which is Waste of Life, Waste of Time.
Okay. Good Instagram handle. Okay.
But yeah, so you can find me there on my TDG production account. Eventually on May 4th, that's the expected date on my YouTube channel, it's a link to that account. You'll be seeing my short film posted on there.
All right. So anybody out there that wants to contribute to this film, whether it's financially, you want to drop a couple of dollars his way, you have an audio music that you want aired on a short film, or if you just want to be a fan and just fan out and be a background actor, drop him a line, send him a message. He is a great leader. He's a good representation of hard work, dedication, and the CTE way, the career technical education. Tyler has not only been a leader for the AV club, but within his own group, his own friends, he is the reason our group has expanded, and I hope to see more of. You got something for us?
Oh yeah. So obviously, contact me if you guys want me to ever edit something for you, film something for you. I'll do it. Obviously for the right price, but also if you guys can, we have our audiovisual Instagram account at LEHS Audiovisual, and that's where we keep you guys posted on the events that we do here at the school, the community center, etc. So yeah.
All right, Tyler, thank you so much for being a guest on this. I want to have you back before you leave. There's a lot that you and I have to talk about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, throughout the years, man, there's so much that's happened.
We've got so many stories. And I want you to share also your swimming pool story one day.
Oof, that's a big one.
There's so much I want you to express yourself with during this podcast. Thank you so much, my friend. And we'll see you guys.
I'm glad you had me, man.
All right, my friends. Have a good day.